Now, how to get around the city? Now, let's keep it simple. In Palermo, the best way to get around is on foot. Do you know there's two things attached to your legs that are called feet? This is the best mode of transportation in Palermo. Palermo is a historic center made of cobblestone roads, charming alleys, piazzas, architecture everywhere you look. This place wasn't designed for cars, buses, the metro. You gotta walk, breathe it in, fall in love with it, make love with it. And if you pick a place in one of the areas I recommend in my video or in my article, you can walk basically everywhere. If you pick a place, as we say in Sicily, dove ha perso le scarpe il Signore, meaning where the Lord God lost his shoes, aka in the middle of nowhere, forgotten even by God, you'll be spending your entire vacation cursing at the bus, at the mayor, your partner, your kids too. It's not fun, believe me. But to conclude this point, the best way to get around the city is on foot. Watch the video, read my article, pick your spot in a central area, and you can walk everywhere. As we said, in Palermo you walk, but in a few cases you need a bus. Number one, you need a bus to go to Mondello. Mondello is our beautiful, stunning seaside neighborhood with this crystal water, white long beach, or at least looks like that 11 months of the year. Then August rolls around and it turns into a green crappy soup of peeing bodies and screaming kids. In the warmer seasons, Mondello is a must-see. Skip July and August, is not worth it. The winter is a ghost town. There is really nothing going on in there, but on a sunny weekend, a stroll and a coffee by the sea still do wonders for your soul. How do you get there? There is a direct bus 806, write this down, which connects the Politeama Libertà area to Mondello. In summer, the service is decent and frequent, nothing to write home about, but it does the job. In summer, it's a mess. They cut the schedule, cancel it randomly. They do whatever the hell they feel like. That's Sicily. And the numero due place you need a bus to go is Monreale. Monreale is this picturesque town on top of a hill with a spectacular view and is home to one of the most beautiful UNESCO cathedral. Its mosaics inside, mamma mia, they are so breathtaking that can convert you into Christianity in a minute, even if you have never set foot in a church before. To get there, you need to take the bus 389. Write this down. It's not the London Underground, but does the job. It's reliable enough to get you up there face to face with all that beauty. And the third case you might need a bus is to travel between the historic center to the Politeama Libertà area, so from Old Town to downtown. And the two areas are adjacent, very close. You can walk between the two areas. This is what we locals do. We walk from the epicenter of the Politeama Libertà area, the Politeama Theater, to the heart of the historic center, which is the Four Corners. It's a nice 20-minute stroll along a pedestrian street. A lot of restaurants, shops, cafes. It's a nice stroll, and it's also a good way to burn off all the pasta you will eat. Sometimes, as we say in Sicily, ti pesa il culo, means that your ass feels too heavy to move, and that's where the bus comes in handy. If you're feeling lazy, don't worry, there are frequent buses that connect the two areas. Now, how to use the bus without screwing up? To get to the spots that I mentioned, like Cefalù or Mondello, to travel between the downtown and the old town, you use the city bus. There are the ones orange, white, and blue. The other colors generally go outside the Palermo area. And buy the tickets for the bus city, you generally go to a tobacco shop, tabacchi, look for the big T sign, newsstands, or you can buy it on board, but it costs more. Price for a ticket is about 140. If you buy it on board on the bus, it's about 180. The daily ticket is at 350, and if you want to save some cash, you can buy pack of tickets. If you want to buy your ticket on board, make sure you go with some change. Don't piss off the driver with a 50 euro bill. They are already juggling with many things, the traffic, tourists asking for directions, kids puking in the back. For those tech savvy who want to buy the ticket with their iPhone and want also a nervous breakdown, there is the Palermo Mobilità app. What's wrong with this app? It looks like it was made by my 80-year-old Uncle Luciano after 6 glasses of house wine. It works better, but it's only in Italian, not in English. It's chaotic. It's usually not easy to use for tourists. One warning word for those geniuses who want to sneak a free bus ride in Palermo. Ticket checkers show up when you least expect them, and believe me, the fine is as big as Sicily. They catch you, consider that these guys aren't exactly Albert Einstein. They don't know English, I'm not even sure if they speak Italian. The only thing they do know is how to hand out a fine. But before getting on the bus, buy the 10 ticket, because believe me, you don't want to deal with them. Well, last thing, you will see that the same ticket works for the tram too. Yes, in Palermo we got a tram. But don't get too excited, because it looks like they tracked tourists to see where they want to go, and they build the tram lines in the exact opposite direction. It's like they say, you motherfucker, go use your tram in your city. Like I said before, in Palermo you gotta use the legs and walk. Occasionally you need to hop on a bus to see the must spots outside the city center like Monreale and Mondello. Now here is the $1 million question. Nico, do I need a car? You're just hanging in Palermo for a few days. You wanna see the city and some nearby spots? The answer is no. The car is more trouble than it's worth. But if you're sticking longer and you wanna see the amazing stuff outside the city, a car might save you some serious headaches. In fact, Palermo's got a gazillion of towns, beaches, villages that you must absolutely visit. Now, I'm not saying that you gotta see every single one unless you want to move here for the next 6 years. But seriously, if you don't do at least a few day trips, you might find yourself one day on your deathbed full of regrets, and no one wants that, right? Some of the most popular destinations like Cefalù, San Vito Lo Capo, Agrigento are well connected by public transport, so you can do day trips without having to tear your head out. For less touristy destinations, if you don't have a car or you didn't think to pack a camel, good luck with that. This is especially true in summer when it comes to beaches. Most popular ones like Mondello or San Vito Lo Capo in summer turn into zoos with pink monkeys swimming everywhere. If you want to escape to quieter, to more local beaches, a car is a must. It goes without saying that even for the touristy spots, a car is way faster. Now here's the thing, I can do your homework for you. Whether you need a car or not depends entirely on you, what you want to see and do. But I wrote 2 articles. One is about what to see near Palermo, the other is about the best beaches in Palermo. Go check them out, they can help you plan your trip and decide whether you need a car. One important thing, if you decide to rent a car, there is a whole bucket of things that you gotta know before renting. How not to get ripped off, to how to avoid the infamous ZTL fine. I have made a whole video about that. I also wrote an article. Watch it, read it, do whatever you want, but don't wing it. Links are in that description. Now, another great way to zip around the city is by using one of these rentable electric scooters and e-bikes that you can find scattered all over Palermo. Renting them is a piece of cake. You just need to download an app. There are a ton of them. Lime and Bird are the most popular ones. Scan the QR code on the vehicle and bam, you are off. Before you hop on one of these things and you end up with a face full of asphalt, there are a few things that you gotta know. Number 1, in civilized places, probably like yours, people ride their electric scooters and bikes on bike lanes, right? But guess what? Palermo forgot to build them, so people ride them wherever the hell they want. Pedestrian streets, sidewalks, piazzas, whatever is vaguely flagged, it's fair game. So join the circus and ride wherever you feel. Number 2, technically you should wear a helmet when you ride these things. Guess what? Nobody gives a damn. Not the riders, not the cops either. And let's be honest, it's a kind of hard walking around with a helmet just in case you decide to hop on a scooter, right? It's usually a last moment thing, right? Right now everybody's cruising around with the hair blowing in the wind, but in a bipolar city like Palermo, things can change fast. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow the police wake up and start finding everybody. Now, just to be clear before some genius decides to leave a dumb comment, I'm not encouraging you to ride without a helmet. I'm just saying what people do here. The helmet law was just released and people do not apply it because it's basically inconvenient walking around with a helmet all day just in case you decide decide to hop on a scooter, capisci? Speaking of helmets, Palermo roads, let's say challenging. They've got potholes so deep that if you fall in it, you reappear on the other side of the planet. Got friends who disappeared into one of these potholes, these craters, and now they live in New Zealand. And watch out for the drivers, because here they swerve around like they are having a stroke behind the wheel. So seriously, be careful.